So what you're looking at right here is a little piece of latex. This is what we use to kind of practice our knot tying in the lab here. And so if this were to kind of represent the vessel, kind of here's one side of the vessel, here's the other side of the vessel. And again, I have my dilator because that would be the only instrument that's safe to put inside the vessel here. And so now my dilator would sort of be in the vessel here. When you're coming in to kind of drive the needle here, I see a lot of people kind of coming in at an angle here, and I think that's just natural, the way that your hand kind of rests here. You really have to kind of tuck your elbow here, and you want your needle to kind of go straight across. If you come in at an angle like this, you'll get through this first wall, but to get to the same point in the other wall, you'll have to kind of make this big turn, and you're inside of a blood vessel at that point. And so that's kind of an impossible maneuver. And so it's really important that you kind of start out straight across. And again, you really have to kind of tuck that elbow. That's kind of what it feels like to kind of get that. But you want to, it's really important that you're pointing kind of straight across here. And I'm going to kind of pick a point here. And when I'm kind of pushing the needle through, to me, it feels a lot more like this instrument is almost kind of pushing the tissue kind of onto the needle tip there. It feels a lot less like I'm driving the needle here. You'll notice if you do kind of try to drive the needle, you don't make a lot of progress. It just kind of stretches the vessel with it, and the needle doesn't really go anywhere. I really kind of feel like this my left hand kind of does a lot more work than I kind of ever anticipated it doing here. And then we'll just kind of slide our needle into the other side here. And I don't know, hopefully you can kind of appreciate, you can kind of see the needle kind of through this latex here. And the same is true of a blood vessel. These are pretty transparent. You can see your needle inside of a blood vessel. And once you're in there, you can kind of move around. And so I can kind of pull back until I'm kind of happy where I'm at. And I'm going to do the same thing, but just from the outside here. I'm going to kind of push the tissue onto my needle tip there. And then I'm just going to drop everything. And you can see my needles coming through there. And then I'm going to come around here. I like kind of bringing my needle driver around, and you know, I see a lot of people ask if they can just kind of grab it with their forceps here, and you could, but the needle driver looks bulky, but it's actually really great at picking up needles. So I actually usually just bring my needle driver over and kind of pull that through, and you'll notice right here, I make a little hinge right here as I'm kind of pulling it through here. And the reason you don't want to just yank this through, because when you do, it'll kind of cheese wire these holes. I already made a little bit of a tear there when I was kind of driving it through there. But if you kind of make a little hinge here as you kind of pull through, it'll keep those holes kind of nice and small, and you'll get less bleeding through those. So it's important to kind of do that when you're underneath the scope. And we'll pull it until we see there's our short end right there.